Another year, another Marble League on the horizon. In the highest league for marble sports, it can get confusing with what teams are hot and what teams are not, especially after the league expanded to 32 teams. That's why I do these videos. Sometimes even I forget that certain teams exist. One of these teams will be a champion when all is said and done, while some of these teams won't even get a seat at the table. Let's see who are true contenders, and let's see who have no chance. Wow. Starting off hot with this one, the 2022 season wasn't all bad for Team Primary, just mostly. At least you're coming to terms with Hard Carrop. He and Rima are doing wonders digging your team out from the hole that your forgettable captain and the Blunder Twins have put you in. Prim with the 16th in sprint, Emar with 15th in hurdles, Prim and Emar with 15th in bowling, undid the silver run Rima put up in the water race, while we were all screaming for you to put Arup in. You were 13th overall before Arup came away with the silver and sand rally. Rima led the way for the collision win, and Arup almost came away with a podium spot to end the season. This can be a season of change for Team Primary, but knowing how Secondary has been as a coach, nothing will change from this team. I don't know whether they qualify or not. All I know is that there will be infighting regardless. Good luck, and have fun in 12th. The Rojo Rollers truly are a team. Are they a good team? Watch this video and then come back to me. Too long didn't watch? No. They qualified in 2021 for the first time in their history and proceeded to take dead last even with back-to-back 4th place finishes to end the season, because that's how the Rojo Rollers do. They missed out again last year and competed like it was their first time on the field. Discombobulated would be putting it nicely. Unwatchable would be putting it honestly. It is either a miracle or a cruel act from a merciless god that allowed the Rojo Rollers to even be here. This time around, you'll have to watch out for the fact that the Bumblebees are hosting, and you've never appeared in a Marble League with the Bumblebees. Since you're the Rojo Rollers, it shouldn't be too hard for you to miss out on qualifying, but good luck anyway. The O-Rangers are still feeling the effects of choking 2020 and haven't had nearly as strong a performance since then. They're still like the Denver Broncos, who are trying to find an identity after Peyton Manning retired and are now riding with Russell Wilson.
Let's ride!
Can't believe I shed a tear over this guy. They rode all the way to 11th in 2021 and tested my heart with their performance in the 2022 qualifiers, but balancing bailed them out to do okay-ish in the main tournament. I expected you to do better, O-Rangers. Obviously. Especially coming off a Marbula 1 victory. But a win in the water race and a redemption in Aquathlon is good enough. I'm begging you, O-Rangers, begging on my nubby little knees. Qualify. Ratings would plummet if you don't. The Razzies followed up a silver campaign in 2021 with the worst start to a league their franchise has had. Messing around in the basement made everyone think you'd stay there. Then you woke up and medaled in 3 straight events to bring you to the top half of the standings. I'm not even gonna mention the disaster that is Marbula 1. This is gonna be your near future, isn't it? You're gonna give your fanbase heart attacks and flirt around with the showdown spot before remembering how to compete and qualify 5th in your group. You really are the Kansas City Chiefs. You remember how their Super Bowl 54 playoff run went. Maybe the Razzies just like playing from behind. Except for 2019 when they literally medaled every other event. What happened to that magic? You gotta get some of that back. It is an odd year too. Maybe this is the Fruit Circuit team to win it and claim their 2nd championship. Amazing how 1 year can turn the worst franchise this side of the Cuyahoga into the best team in marble sports. Unfortunately for me, this means I can no longer rehash my Binkies turn into the Stinkies faster than you can blinky for the 4th straight year, and now I have to come up with something, original. Last year I said that the Pinkies turned being bad into an art form. They turned everything I said about them into digital art sold as NFTs. fucking worthless. 7 medals out of nowhere cemented their season as one of the greatest. The hardest thing a sports team can do isn't the getting good, it's the staying good. We've seen it happen to teams in the past, not naming any names, Midnight Wisps. I told you for years now to get good, and now that you are good, some fucking how, I'm demanding you to stay that way. And not as the #1 Pinky stan, but as someone who likes it when you're not bad. Title of reigning Marble League champion also comes with it auto qualification, so you don't have to choke in another qualifiers. Who gave them the right? The Wolfpack is still too new a team to really say anything on. We saw them do pretty alright in the showdown, and they even won a couple medals while they were at it. Let's just hope that qualifiers go better than M1 though, that was just rough. Still, in your first year, you're already way better than the Solar Flares. Congrats on doing the bare minimum. We'll see how this goes for them onward into their future, cause they are just a blank canvas. This'll go really well or really poorly. Man, there are some teams that I'm really excited to talk about, and then there are the Snowballs. They did just not bad enough to not get relegated, but everyone knows nothing good will come from them. The Snowballs, like many teams here, only survived relegation because of Misty falling off a cliff. They cleared the bottom 4 by 5 points, thanks in part from Snowy putting the team on their back and winning a gold in the last event of the showdown. This may save face, but it'll only prolong the inevitable. The only way you're qualifying is if 2026 is a winter league. Just keep kidding yourself that this year will be your year. The Blackjacks are still a tough team to get a read on. No pun intended. They nabbed 3 medals in 5 events in the showdown, which isn't saying much, but they avoided relegation by plenty and landed on the overall podium. You had a pretty solid introduction, but the showdown is nothing like the main show. Now you'll actually have to qualify for anyone to truly have faith in you. Lord knows that Marbula 1 only hindered your reputation as a team to watch out for. But if the second place winner of the 2021 showdown showed us anything in 2022, it's that sometimes I just don't know what the f I'm talking about. I got excited to talk about just how forgettable the Chocolatiers are as a team. I had flashbacks to last year's video where I pretended to skip them. I looked at how they performed last year with consistent bottom 8 finishes. I look at Marbula 1 where they're so forgettable I never even pay attention to them or consider them a real threat. You wanna know just how forgettable the Chocolatiers are? I forgot to add them to the script of this video. I thought of all the things I wanted to write about them, and then I forgot to write their name down. They'll act like they're getting their act together by winning their qualifiers division and then melt under the spotlights into 14th. Same with Marbula 1, they'll show up once and never again. They're frauds. And if they qualify, they're just gonna get stomped on again. The Turtle Sliders are historically bad, but they are on the up and up for the fact that, as a team, they can really only go up. Seriously, they've been in the basement so long they already paid off the mortgage on it. But 2022 was the year where the split in the timeline took us into Bizarro World and trash teams somehow became not trash. You actually did well. And well, in this instance means you're not relegated. You won the 5-meter relay in the showdown and almost made it to the overall podium if not for Team Momo running the table. This is the best the Sliders have been ever. At this rate, they might actually qualify in 10 years. But maybe the up and up will go up and upper, and they'll miss out on qualifying by a little and not a lot. If the Pinkies can be champions, then even the Turtle Sliders can qualify. Now watch that age poorly. The Shining Swarm have an uncanny ability to fly under everyone's radar. They almost won last year and no one seems to bat an eye. Mainly because we all doubted our eyes with what the Pinkies did. After a poor start, you ran the table with 4 straight medals in the second half of the season, but the final gold landed just out of reach. For a team that has been relegated in the past, And a team that I said would have no hope of running it back after Event 4, having a guaranteed appearance must feel sweet, cause you're auto-qualified. Let's see if they can get the job done in 2023, but let's see if anyone even pays attention to them. The good news for anyone not a fan of the Savage Speeders is that they need to go to another qualifiers. The bad news is they're still the Savage Speeders. It's almost impossible for them to do poorly. You finished 12th in 2021 in a championship hangover that made everyone think that you were finally done, but surprise, surprise, you had a chance to win the 2022 Marble League headed into the last event because Fun has been cancelled. Luckily for us, Speedy made sure to bow out early to put an end to your hopes of a third trophy. And of course, they still have a chance at winning Marbula 1, cause why the not? It's not like I'm salty enough or anything. Let's just hope the 4th place curse bites you this year. Though you'll probably win qualifiers and win the league with records and everything, cause why not? I don't see the Speeders going to the showdown. The economy of the channel depends on them in the main tournament. The Thunderbolts haven't been good since the last event of 2016. They hold the record for the longest gold drought and longest podium drought. If they keep going down this road, those streaks will only grow. The Thunderbolts are the Michael Jackson of the Marble League. At first, they were off the wall, a real thriller. Now they are just bad. They were dangerously close to relegation, and their reputation as a powerhouse is history. Marbula 1 was just as big a disaster for you Bolts, yet you still come back because the league hates the Indigo Stars that much. Honestly, you should have been relegated in the showdown, but Thunder decided to do well and came away with the silver in the Sand Rally. Let's hope they can do something with this second chance that other blue teams wish they could have. You really are just mellow, aren't you, Mellow Yellow? You kept it so mellow that you slid all the way down to 13th, but still won a golden sprint because why not? Mellow Yellow is just working from the outside in. They finished the Marble League in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. That means they need to qualify for 2023 and finish dead last as the prophecy foretells. Although odd years are the Fruit Circuit years, so maybe they'll be the new dynasty, or maybe they keep it too mellow and slip into the basement. The Limers as a franchise are just like their logo, a giant L. They missed out on qualifying last year to the shock of no one and performed incredibly mid in the showdown. They are so bad that the only reason I put Team Galactic in my showdown predictions last year is because I listed off the Limers twice. That is how bad they are. Despite the Limers' inability to qualify, they aren't relegated. In fact, this was the first time the Limers finished in the top half of anything ever. Marbula 1, Marble League, Showdown, doesn't matter. This is the first time they stepped onto the field and weren't absolute garbage. Many people have eyes on them because it's an odd year and that's when Fruit Circuit teams win. But come on, this is the Limers we're talking about. This is normally when I'd say that they don't have a chance, but again, look at what that did with the Pinkies. I'm not saying anything about anything. Ah yes, Team Momo, the people's team. You're still only known for injuries. Momo's gruesome injury in the 2017 collision, Momo's altitude sickness in 2018, and Mimo's injured pride in Marbula 1 Season 4. You were on the cusp of relegation in last year's showdown before running the table and making the overall podium. So you got a bronze in the showdown. Whoop-de-doo. Turn that into a bronze overall and shut me up. See, what I'm doing is saying the same thing I said to the Pinkies. You know what happened. You had the lead going into the home stretch of 2021, but couldn't hold on to it. Let's see if you can get back to that spot. But first you gotta qualify. And stay healthy. Just don't make me learn any more Hebrew, please. The balls of chaos can go from 2 straight somethings to basement dwelling and something about used gum. You already know how it goes, cause it still fits. This team is an absolute meme. They qualified for 2022 by the thinnest of margins and used that opportunity to set the worst point total in Marble League history. They were outscored by 75% of the teams in the league. They were outscored by Mallard. Team Plasma scored more points than them in just 4 events. You are the Oakland A's. You suck. And you drive your fans away in droves with how badly managed you are. We root for your failure more than your success, and you'll probably be shipped off to Vegas before this video is done. How is Harmony still your coach? Coaches have been fired for less than what they did in 2022. I want to say that they'll end up in the showdown, mainly because I want them to be in the showdown, but they'll still probably qualify by way of teabagging the Indigo Stars into oblivion because the Marble Gods just hate them. Enjoy another basement finish. The return from the grave for Team Plasma started off on the right foot, but the qualifiers are a much different arena. Let's hope your momentum from the showdown continues. You remember how well it went for you the last time you were in the qualifiers, don't ya? I guess we did see what you could do in just 8 events, so maybe you can show us what you can do with 16. If not, you can always dominate the showdown again. Teams who win the showdown back-to-back totally have success in the future. The mid-tier Maniacs stay mid as they qualify mid and perform mid. 2 bronzes and a whole lot of basement finishes put them in 12th for the league, though qualification is still qualification, which technically means they have a perfect attendance record going. Not gonna lie, this is the team I least expected this from. Let's see if you have any of that 2020 magic left in ya, or if it was just a fluke finish since all eyes were on the O-Rangers choking the top spot. I see them keeping their streak going and sputtering out at like 10th place. That's generous by my standards. Well, I guess I should take back what I said in 2020 about how this team hasn't done much. Staring down relegation to the overall podium is a heck of a turnaround. You ended your gold drought with 4 of them, though inconsistencies weighed you down in the long run. You choked away the overall podium in the most Team Galactic way possible by finishing 5th in the last event, with Starry doing their best Kevin Dyson impression during the elimination race. If you don't know who that is, don't worry. You missed qualification in 2021, but you don't gotta worry about that this year cause you're auto-qualified. Let's just hope we don't have to wait another 2 years for you to get a gold. What do you want me to say about the Purple Rockets? What is there to say about the Purple Rockets? They were exceptionally mid in the showdown, but got their first gold in climbing to avoid relegation. Let's see if they can get their first meaningful gold, but I think it'll be a while before that happens. The Purple Rockets just seem like the Indigo Stars. They exist, just not in Marbula 1. Don't mention their win in Marble Maniacs either, that tournament doesn't count. Man. This was pain. The only way for the Midnight Wisps to survive dead last was to have the Balls of Chaos finish with historically bad numbers. You made everyone think that 2021 was just a fluke and you'll return to form. You even won your division in qualifiers. Then you go and wind up 15th with 12 bottom half finishes. 2018 was the fluke, wasn't it? That's the only explanation. Maybe you used up all your winning early and are trying your best to win with your core members when their best results were left a half decade in the past. I'm still not forgiving you for messing up my bingo either. The Wisps proved why they failed to qualify in 2021, and I feel like they'll miss that again this year. It definitely looks like the Bumblebees get along better. Teamwork makes the dream work and all that. We all thought that you'd fail on your second attempt in rafting, but instead you turned doubt into a podium finish. Second time is the charm after all. They flopped in the qualifiers after merging with the Hornets, but the roster changes have moved them from terrible to okay-ish, but like a watchable okay-ish. While you've still technically never qualified for consecutive Marble Leagues, you don't need to this year cause congratulations! You're hosting, which means you're auto-qualified. Don't let the host curse get you. Seeing the Gliding Glaciers flounder about in 2022 put into perspective just how weird 2021 was. They finished 6th in Marblo-Cross but still got the overall bronze because that's how bad Hazy fumbled the bag. It was slow going for the Glaciers last year, and they never really took off like what we expected. They got a bronze in the 5-meter hurdles and a silver in triathlon, but outside of that, they only have had 5 top half finishes, culminating in a very disappointing 10th. Even Marbula 1 is going very sad for them. Maybe they'll get back in it this year, or maybe they'll go the way of actual glaciers and melt off the face of the earth. Man, remember when the Crazy Cat's Eyes were 2nd in the 2022 Marble League standings? Cause I sure don't. A bronze and a silver in the first 5 events made us go, wow, this team's legit. But the subsequent slump into 11th made us go, never mind, the Cat's Eyes really need a strong Marble League season. At least you'll always have Marbula 1 to... What the f*** is Blue Eye doing here? Just pull someone from the stands, they'll be faster than them. What was wrong with the dynamic you had going on? I know that Marbula 1 isn't the best variable when looking at the Marble League, but you're messing with synergy, man! The only way Blue Eye is winning races is if they're shoving people off the track. Good luck in qualifying this year, you might need it. Ah yes, this team. They exist. And they existed pretty mid in the showdown. They got their first Marble League gold in 2021, but felt that success just wasn't for them. Of course, they also got curb stomped by the Balls of Chaos in the following qualifiers. They didn't even win a gold in the showdown last year either. Too bad you don't exist in Marbula 1 because JMR just has it out for you apparently. The narrative is set for 2023 to be an Indigo Stars revenge tour for what the Balls of Chaos did to them last year, and what they did with the opportunity. It looks like they're alternating years for qualifying, so we should see a return of the Stars in the league for 2023. I already talked about the Jungle Jumpers, and I still don't have much of a voice after that. They should not be here. They should have been relegated instead of the Hazers, but the Marble Gods want us to suffer. I made fun of the Pinkies in 2020, and we know how that turned out 2 years later. Although it started off pretty well. Point being, I don't think it'll take 2 years for this video to age poorly because the dinosaur jinx is real and the Marble Gods hate me. Jumpers 2023 champs incoming, folk. Brace yourselves. Last year was a step up for the Green Ducks, coming off of a lackluster 2021 and a pretty abysmal 2020. Though finishing 2019 in 2nd only behind a team that broke the record for most golds in a season is a very tough act to follow. Everyone has high hopes for you, especially now that you have the reigning MVP on your team. Running the table with 3 medals in the last 5 events let you settle in 5th because the host curse doesn't exist. Mallard winning the final event to cap off their phenomenal season on home turf became an instant classic. I called you the Golden Knights back in 2020, and let's see if you can do that. 12 teams will join the 4 relegated teams in the Battle of the Basement. I haven't gotten a prediction wrong once, so I have a pretty good feeling about this. My picks for the showdown are the Balls of Chaos, Turtle Sliders, Rojo Rollers, Snowballs, Jungle Jumpers, Limers, no shock so far, Team Primary, Chocolatiers, Midnight Wisps, the Wolf Pack, Purple Rockets, and Gliding Glaciers. Let me put up the speeders just so I can be right about the 4th place curse. If all these teams end up in the same group for qualification, then forget anything I just said. I'll be back here after the qualifiers to laugh or cry or some mixture of the two. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next upload, and check out some of the links in the description to support this channel. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to wipe a lot of pink off of everywhere. Orange is back, baby. Oh.